There are Muslim kids that were being sniped at by both Serbs and Muslims. There's no time to wait. You don't think about it, you just go and do it. It's a team effort. I have my guys backing me up. I got someone driving the vehicle. They're all heroes because we all did the job together. You know, the Canadians did great work over there. If I'm one of the most highly recognized guys, what about the guys who aren't as recognized, who did the job? How are they being recognized? They aren't.
I remember when I was a little boy, my dad used to listen to CBC News.
I was 8 years old, and we were watching coverage on CBC, me and my father.
My mom was very involved with the party back in the 80s.
I guess I grew up in a political household. Both my parents were very interested about social issues.
Who are these people, and why are they talking about their parents?
We hear a lot about young voters, that they're disillusioned, disengaged, apathetic. So we went out to talk to the media, to talk to the youth, to talk to politicians, and find out what's going wrong. And what we found out was a lot of young people with a vibrant interest in politics, and that maybe there's not that much wrong after all.
My name is Stephen Taylor. I am a fellow at the Manning Center for Building Democracy, and in my spare time I write a blog on Canadian politics. The website that we have that aggregates conservative blogs is called Blogging Tories. It's at bloggingtories.ca, and as another site I just write my own opinion on stephen-taylor.ca. I suppose I grew up in a bit of a political home. I'd watched the news when I was 10 years old, and perhaps while my friends were playing outside. I remember watching the 1988 election. My dad was watching the seat totals, and CBC had a shot of an empty room with a bunch of seats, and I thought that when they were referring to seats that were to be filled, that's where that was supposed to happen. So I really didn't understand it at 8 years old, but I suppose maybe I caught the political bug at that time.
Stephen is heavily involved in politics and has broken a number of big news stories. However, he doesn't believe political parties should court the youth vote.
Well, I wouldn't treat them as if they are a separate demographic. I mean, youth have the same interests as many others, whether they're, 18 years old, 35 years old, or 45 years old.
Green Party of Canada, Michael Paskowitz speaking.
I'm Michael Paskowitz. I work here at the Green Party of Canada. My position is liaison to the Leaders Tour.
Michael is optimistic about young people's engagement in politics, even though he thinks many are cynical.
There are some that do care, and surprisingly enough, or maybe not a surprise to anyone, a lot of them are really engaged with the Green Party. And the reason is because people our age really are caring about our futures. For me, I guess I grew up in a political household. Both my parents were very interested about social issues in our society, how the future should be run. So I guess it was also, a family upbringing that was a part of this.
My name's John Acapata. I'm a writer, I'm a poet, and I'm a politician with the Marijuana Party of Canada.
John is in his 30s, but his party keeps him in contact with young voters, and he's upbeat about the young people he meets.
The youth know what's going on. They have access to the internet, there's films and documentaries, and they're gaining all this information. And part of the reason why they're not voting is because the politicians are not talking about the things that they're talking about and not answering the questions that they have. The youth right now have an advantage where the politicians are afraid of them and on the run, but the youth also have a bigger responsibility to participate in the system, because if you don't participate in the system will not listen to you.
My name's Isaac Coburn. I work for the New Democrats on this election campaign.
Isaac is a reluctant warrior. He got involved at a young age when his mother was an NDP candidate. During the last election, he worked at NDP headquarters in Ottawa. So why is he involved now?
I actually did sort of try very hard not to be engaged in politics, but when I started seeing the things that were happening with like the education system and the healthcare system, the lack of action that was being seen on the environment, it was like the New Democrats were the only party that were really addressing those issues seriously.
We went to talk to journalists at Carleton University to find out if there were any students interested in the federal election.
I think that a lot of people are getting involved this year, which is good.
We even published a couple letters of students saying, I really hope that you have a lot of good election coverage because it's really important for people to know about.
What we noticed in some of our research is in the past 3 years, the actual rate of youth voting has gone up, which a lot of people don't mention, but it's true. It's gone from 30-something% up to 42%, I believe.
So there you have it. Students calling the student newspaper demanding more election coverage. Can you believe it? But we still had one final question for our conservative blogger.
Are you aware of slam poetry?
Let's try that again.
I am aware of slam poetry.
Is there any young conservative slam poetry?
I'm not aware of too many slam poets among my friends that are conservative, but I think that's more of the, I don't know, maybe the more left-wing persuasion.
A message to the youth. When you talk to politicians about the youth, they think that you are a joke because you're broke. But I know the truth. I know that the young people want to know more from the politicians. They want to know what is their system. They want to know what's going on inside the Parliament building and how they can fit into their schisms. I'm telling you from someone who's been on the other side. When politicians see youth and they know that you know the truth, they're the ones that run and hide. So get those camcorders and those cameras and the journalists by your side. Find out what's going on the inside, because the politicians aren't lying, they're just hiding the truth from you. So next time an election rolls around, don't just sit down and have a frown and be despondent. Get off your ass and vote.
We went looking for disengagement and instead found a strong thread of youth optimism. Sometimes it's nice to be wrong.
So that's them? What about you? Are you interested? It's your government.